Hello and welcome to The Frame, an initiative of Access Framingham. We begin this week with a summary of the preliminary goals that have been established by Framingham Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Robert Tremblay for the upcoming year, as they were outlined during the school committee's meeting on Wednesday, July 15th. Tremblay detailed a number of specific goals that are meant to be completed by next June, many of which are designed to be directly measurable. The district's targets include a raise in the promotion rate of grade 9 students into grade 10 by 8 percentage points up to roughly 91%, at least an 80% overall 4-year graduation rate, and increasing performance in English language arts along with early literacy within grades 2 and 3. On top of those metrics, Tremblay said he's looking to connect further with students, especially the incoming freshman class at Framingham High School, while soliciting community input on FPS's future policies regarding cell phones and artificial intelligence within local schools. The superintendent explained the exercise is meant to ensure that all staff members within the district are aligned on their mission in an honest way.
It serves to double down on our transparency and some of the criticism around what we can do better as a district and how we can broaden that messaging. It serves to tie to my own performance metrics, my own accountability, and it also shows this community how we're spending our dollars and how we're tying that spending directly back to educational outcomes.
It's worth noting that some of the relevant information for benchmarks to establish these goals, such as the most recent graduation rate, has yet to become publicly available. Going forward, school committee members requested further context for these goals, while also asking the superintendent to consider all grade levels when creating future benchmarks before they're due to be voted on by the end of September. Tremblay agreed, though he added that the goals pitched so far aim to cover large gaps within the district's current operations.
There's so much more than what these goals are that we are attending to and tracking, but I'm picking these specific ones as I think they're the biggest levers to graduation rate, grade 9. We know these are the big problems that we have, which is why they've been identified here.
Another quick note on that most recent school committee meeting, it was held at the Farley building along Flag Drive. Going forward, school committee meetings in Framingham will be hosted there and aired by our friends over at the Framingham Education Channel. The possibility of more staffing to maintain the newly renovated Mary Dennison Park was discussed during the Framingham City Council Finance Subcommittee's meeting on Tuesday, July 14th. Ground broke on the multi-million-dollar project back in March of 2024, as about $40 million have been invested in restoring the park along Beaver Street. The new Mary Dennison Park is set to feature many new amenities, including a multi-use synthetic turf field, a splash pad, and parking for over 100 vehicles. Local officials are hoping to hold the new park's ribbon-cutting ceremony in either August or September. Prior to that, however, Mayor Charlie Sisitsky has been requested to fund additional roles within the Parks and Recreation Department to maintain Mary Dennison. Parks officials pointed to risks like reduced safety, inconsistent maintenance, and deferrals on repairs if additional staff cannot be found. Sisitsky told local legislators that he and his administration would work to find a solution, while former City Councilor Judy Grove proposed another idea on top of that, the creation of a community stewardship group for the new park.
I think we all agree that we need to do something to beef up the staff to maintain the park once it's open. The problem is, where do we get the money to provide the additional staff?
We have many people in the city who will help, but we want the local people to do it. We need to have ownership of this park by the neighborhood. So they can do that, which can decrease the cost of funding.
And in case you were wondering, here's a sky-high snapshot of what the new park looks like now ahead of its opening, courtesy of the city. The mayor said this week that he had recently taken a tour of the renovated site. Sisitsky described it as quote-unquote fantastic, adding that it could be a point of interest for the entire Metro West region. Framingham officials are considering changes to their bylaws related to business signage and large billboards. District 3 City Council member Mary Kate Feeney has pitched enacting a number of changes to the local sign zoning ordinance for local businesses. Among them would be allowing revolving barber poles and increasing the amount of area that a window sign at a business can occupy, from 10% of the total area of the window up to 40%. Feeney explained the changes are being poised in order to resolve confusion among local business owners about what is and is not allowed for signage, while making the enforcement of the rules more even. During the City Council's Rules, Ordinances, and Ethics Subcommittee meeting on Monday, July 13th, Rayad Shah, the president and CEO of the Metro West Chamber of Commerce, praised the efforts to make changes, adding that the revisions would be a quote-unquote good start to help boost economic development within the city. Executive Director of the Framingham Economic Development Corporation, Rick McKenna, also praised the focus on making the enforcement more even across Framingham, though he did propose bringing the sign area increased down just to 25% for the time being.
We want to have these vibrant businesses and stay here for longevity, like Chris and others have been here for a very long time. We don't want them to leave because they're frustrated.
My thinking is if you went up to 40% right now, then people in downtown would be going to 80, 90%. And it would be just even a bigger window war that's been happening for a lot of years.
Now, as for billboards, city officials are considering an ordinance to incentivize two major advertising companies, Clear Channel and Outfront, to remove a number of static old-school billboards from the downtown area and by the Center Common in order to improve the appearance of those parts of Framingham. Instead, Clear Channel and Outfront would be provided space along the Mass Pike to put new electronic billboards, which could also be used to boost community-based messaging to promote local groups, initiatives, and events. Representatives from both companies expressed a willingness to move forward with that idea. More details on all the top stories that we cover every week on the program can be found on our website, www.theframe.news. We've got you covered with full written articles, feature pieces that we've completed across Framingham, and a community calendar filled with upcoming events. Subscribe to our email newsletter as well, so that you're always up to date with Framingham News in Focus. Eversource Energy is continuing to push for an expansion of their pilot geothermal project within Framingham. The first of its kind within the United States, Eversource's array by the local public school district's administration building off of Concord Street began operating in 2024. It utilizes a system of underground systems to leverage the consistent 55-degree temperature under the Earth's surface in order to heat buildings in the winter and to cool them in the summer. According to the utility company, around 16 residential, 2 commercial, and 108 Framingham Housing Authority customers are currently connected to the system. Proponents of geothermal energy contend it could be both an eco-friendly and a cost-efficient way for customers to heat and cool buildings. In a recent filing to the Massachusetts Department of Public Utilities, though, Eversource projects that they will need anywhere between $7 million and close to $10 million to grow the pilot program within Framingham, on top of around $8.5 million in federal aid that has already been made available for the expansion. The company has poised the use of their pre-existing geothermal energy provision tariff for certain users, though the specifics of that idea and what that could mean for consumers and their utility bills remains unclear at this time. Eversource's filing to the DPU mentions that the company is hoping to gain state approval for the geothermal expansion by the end of September. More of our local news coverage can always be found on our social media pages. Our home on Instagram is @FrameNews_, and you can search for The Frame on Facebook. Subscribe to Access Framingham's channel on YouTube, and hit the bell icon there to be notified whenever we post new videos. Full Frame episodes are posted onto Spotify as well. Follow us there so that you can listen to or watch the show. That will be all for this week's Framingham News in Focus. On behalf of the entire team here at The Frame, thanks for joining us. My name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.